And we're on, I believe. I think we are. Oh boy. It is a fucking hot day. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome to another live stream. And we're on the edge. We're at the point of no return. And I will explain why in a sec. Hi, Clark. Good to see ya. Good to see everybody here. Hi, Liam. Yeah, so sorry for this late live stream again, guys. It's just kind of, been busy day to day and everything. And, yeah, things have been pretty crazy. So, yeah, we're on the point of no return. We are on the edge of our seats. Because I am happy to announce, guys, that part 1 of the 100th episode will be airing Friday, although technically it'll be tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. You will see the first part of the 100th episode. It'll be 3 parts. Hopefully we're gonna at least try to get one out at least once a week. And then maybe down the line when it's all finished. This is basically to give me more time on it, to work on last minute shots and effects. But part 1 is done. It will be ready to air. I'm thinking about even doing it on Premiere. I don't know. I've had trouble with Premiere in the past. But it will be coming out on tomorrow night at 9. And you guys will definitely be seeing that, and it's going to be pretty exciting. A couple people have already seen it. People who helped me worked on it or close friends have already seen it, and so far people love it. But for any of my fans who do want to see it a little bit early who haven't gotten access to it, if you go to our Patreon page and just donate $1 to our channel and support us, you will be able to see the episode early. It'll be in our unlisted videos. So, again, if you guys want to go check out our 100th episode, part 1, link down below, and you can check it out there. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed what's been happening this week. We put out a trailer, and that trailer was done pretty damn easy, because all I really did was just take the teaser trailer from the Dragon Ball Evolution movie and just kind of matched it with shots I had from my show, and we'll give you a little peek of what's happening. Again, I don't want to really kind of spoil anything, so... So anyway, what's been happening this week? What's been the haps? Not much. I've been just mostly getting back to work, back to basics on working on stuff. I've been working on props and on stuff, obviously, on my spare time. But unfortunately this week, I ran into a problem. I got a summer cold. I don't know how it happened, but this is the second cold I've had this year, and I'm still kind of getting over it, as you can see from my stuffiness. But it's almost gone, thank God. Especially with Canada Day coming up, I might be going to Canada's Wonderland with a friend or two Monday, so that should be fun. There will also be a new behind-the-scenes episode of Kong that will be coming out Monday as well. But yeah, and basically that's how things are going, essentially. It's a little slow, but I am almost done the 100th episode. I'd say the 100th episode is about 60% done, because part 1's done, part 2 will be coming out next week, and then part 3 hopefully the following week, and then you'll start seeing her back to basics of reviews and stuff. I basically needed a month off, and I just need to work on this as much as I could. So anyway, yeah, so definitely the 100th episode will be coming out this, tomorrow night at 9, but for those who want to see it early, go check it out on Patreon. So that's what's been happening, just cold, working on the 100th episode. I've been working on stuff with cosplay friends. That's also where I've been lately. I've just been on cosplay stuff. A couple other things. I should also point out that I've been mostly, if you guys should definitely follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, let's see, Facebook, I keep wanting to say Google Plus, but that's dead now. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm using Instagram like crazy, and I love it. But I also have TikTok. TikTok is a new app that just came out. So if you guys want to follow me and see me do crazy stuff, definitely go check it out. No, Bryce, I did not get a haircut. My hair is so long that I'm having to put it back, like in a kind of like a hairband, like a ponytail. But I'm cool with it. I'm actually getting used to this look. It's mostly to get my hair out of the way when I'm working, but also I kind of like it because it makes me feel like a Jedi or like a samurai, essentially. So I want to keep growing it out and get more of that kind of samurai look, essentially, or that Jedi look, and I think that might come in handy for Star Wars. Speaking of Star Wars, we started production on the prequel trilogy. That is happening, essentially. Yes, Samurai Jack. That is a cosplay I want to do at some point. But yeah, so we started production. If you guys follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, you guys can see that we started production. The first day of shooting was a one-man crew, so it was just me. It was me, a couple of tripods, my phone, and a very heavy Darth Vader suit. So it'll give you an idea of what's been happening. But yeah, so definitely that is coming. We are starting production, and we're taking our time on it because we want to make it look as good as possible. We might have to do some changes in the script in between production, but it's coming along pretty well. As well, what is it? Saturday, I might be going down to the city because I have to do shots for another review coming up. That's also in the works. Just taking a bit longer than expected. And then also, for any of my Ontario Canadian fans, if you guys want to maybe, I don't know, meet me on Canada Day, I'll be going to Canada's Wonderland, down in Vaughan, for the Canada Day, Monday, whether it be for myself, or whether it be just, like, with a friend or something. If you guys want to come meet me, I will be there, and I'll just be having fun. And I'm going to try to go to Wonderland a couple times, because, like, I have a few ideas for some skits and stuff that I definitely want to do there, especially one with Batty Alana. Me and her have been talking about doing this really cool skit at Wonderland. We want to find the time to do it and everything. But anyway, so that's what's been happening. 100th episode's coming out, the first part this Friday. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed that poster that I posted on social media, because that poster is now one of my favorite thumbnails I ever worked on. Because looking at it, it looks like something I think the best way I can describe the 100th episode for me is not only does it come from a place of personal love for a franchise I really enjoy. Not only is it, you know, a really nice little fan film in between, not only is it a great bashing of this piece of shit movie, but it feels like the summer blockbuster of our channel. This feels like the big summer blockbuster. Now, whether it's going to be a blockbuster, meaning people are going to be countlessly watching it, I have no idea, but I am counting on it to be a decent hit. But if you guys want to help support it, definitely share it around when it comes out. So, yeah, it is this, like, the best way I can describe the poster and the whole review itself. It is the summer blockbuster of our channel, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it, because we've been working on this thing probably since January. It's been a huge production, from writing the script, from coming up with the jokes, editing, shooting, post-production. It's been crazy, but I really hope you enjoy the effort that goes in, and it'll give you a lot more backstory of what's happening in the show itself, as well as expanding our world, expanding this kind of multiverse, because I guess you could say, I mean, I know I have a cold, but sorry, I think I might be suffering Marvelitis. Marvelitis! Thanks, Clark, I appreciate that. No, not Ebola. Also, just a heads up, guys. If you're wondering, I am drinking water because I need to be hydrated, but I'm going to do something crazy here. This is something you can actually do on your own. So say you want a double drink and you have one of these big-ass cups. Fill it with ice water. Drink out of it, but then you just put your hand in here. Ready for a magic trick? Ready for this? Ready for this? What's this? What's this? Oh, it's slipping. Oh, shit, hang on. This magic trick is falling apart. Okay. So it has water, but if you put ice water in it and drink out of it, and you're out of water, oh, you got ginger ale. So that's actually something I would recommend. And actually, that is freezing cold. I'm actually going to drink this now. If you guys want what I call a double drink. So fill it with water. Fill this, like, big-ass movie theater cup with ice water. And then get yourself a soda drink. And then just put the can in the cup. And then you can drink it out of the cup, and then when you're out of water, just have, like, soda. I just made that up on the spot. It's weird, because I always come up with creative shit just like that on the spot. But anyway, so before we get started on questions, of course, I do want to give out a few shout-outs, especially for people, BJFCU, BigJackFilms Cinematic Universe. Not a cinematic universe, more like a multiverse. I'll put it like that. It's a multiverse, and that's where we're kind of going with. I am trying to beat Marvel to the punch, because you know they're thinking about it. You know it's coming. They're gonna try and put in fucking, you know, the Fox stuff and everything. They're gonna try it, but I'm gonna beat them to it. Anyway, so before we get started on questions, a couple things. I do want to, it's okay, Carter, we just started. I was just giving updates of what's happening. Before we get started, I do want to give a few shout-outs and thank yous for people who were involved in the 100th episode, especially before it airs. The first one being, I'm trying to think, obviously some big influencers on this episode. Team 4-Star have definitely been a huge help in this episode. Not necessarily, I've only met them once, but, like, in terms of influencing how I do the show comedic-wise, they've been a huge help. I want to thank, obviously, Bayteen, who actually provided the voice of 18 in this episode. Batty Alana, who, is an amazing actress, does one of the best Android 18 cosplays I've ever seen. I'll put her link to her Instagram after this live stream. I'll put all the links, shoutouts below. I want to thank, JT is Reborn, who's in the stream right now, for providing a few voices for us. I want to thank Gord Coyle II, who came at the 11th hour to help us out. Logan, or Huey Two-More of Huey's Animated Movie Reviews, he does a voice on this episode. So again, thank you so much, Huey, for helping us out 11th hour. It was really appreciated. Another big thanks to Harold of Vortos. I think he's usually on our live streams, and he is part of our channel family. He's also known as Thomas, does the voice of Gablor, obviously one of the Dark Lord. Great voice actor. Special thanks to him. I also want to thank two YouTubers who allow me to borrow some of their content to use in this episode. One is Dradosk or whatever. I can't remember what his name is, but he does those fan-made Dragon Ball Z fight videos where he matches certain characters that have never fought before. So 18 versus Frieza and Goku versus 18 makes them fight each other. So he's been a huge help. He provided us with some of his animation, his masking, to help with this episode. Mason McCleary, I would also like to thank for helping with some of the effects. Some of the special effects were provided by him, and he did an awesome job. Another big true thanks on YouTube to DBZ Green Screens. This guy has been uploading Dragon Ball Z anime masks of all these characters on green screen, and they look fantastic. So he was a huge help in this episode. As well as some of the people at Funimation, who I have spoken with, and I have talked to, and I have kind of told them about the episode and everything, and they love it. I've shown a couple of them, and I've gotten Sonny Strait, the voice of Krillin. He loved it. He absolutely adored it. As well as Kyle Herbert, who provides the voice of Adult Gohan, and the narrator, the guy's last time on Dragon Ball Z. He saw the episode. He really liked the first part, or the premise at least. So they were actually, believe it or not, I was actually trying to reach out to them to maybe provide voices, but unfortunately due to legal reasons, they couldn't. So, but either way, I thank them for their support and everything, and saying, hey, go for it, man. It's all good. So, thank you all so much. That was a huge help. But there's one other person that I actually just discovered, I want to say last night or the night before. And it's funny because apparently I'm not the only one who's doing an hour or more review of Dragon Ball Evolution this year for the 10th anniversary. I mean, mine's clocking in at about an hour and a half, maybe more. But there's two in particular. One, I can't remember what his name is, and I know he's still working on his. But one that actually just released his episode this month. And I watched the video late at night, and I absolutely loved it. It was hilarious. It was well-informed. A bit more informed than mine. His was more kind of just as of coming from a fan of the story and the material itself. And that is RAISORBLADE. RAISORBLADE, the video to his review is in the description below. I would highly recommend it. It is a great review. It runs at about an hour and 47 minutes. So it's fucking longer than the fucking review itself. But I watched it, and I was blown away. And this guy, he's only got 1,000 subscribers, so he's obviously hopefully making monetization on the channel, on his channel. But I want to give a major shout out to him because I loved his episode, and I can't wait to compare notes to see which is better. He actually commented on the trailer, which I really appreciate. But I definitely want to give him a shout out. Guys, go support his channel. He could definitely use the support. He's a really great, underrated YouTuber. He just hit 1,000 views, or 1,000 subscribers. Definitely go check out his review. It's really funny. It's really informative. And the whole time he's wearing a fucking Super Saiyan wig, and it's great. I loved it. So, a big shout out to RAISORBLADE. Definitely go check him out. I think he does definitely deserve more subscribers because his reviews are very in-depth. He's also reviewed the Land Before Time movies, which we're fond of as well. So, definitely go check out his video, guys. He's really good. So, anyway, that's all really the shout-outs I want to give out for the 100th episode. And big thank you to everybody. And also, thank you to our writing staff. Bradley Dunn, Studio 95, Endgamer64, Joshua Patello, Rice Duke, Eric. You guys have been a real help in this episode. Can't thank you guys enough. So again, guys, go check out all their content. I'll put links below after this, but there's that. That is actually a really good idea. I'm actually going to do that from now on. Anyway, so before we get started on questions, of course, guys, if you guys want to support this channel, link down below to our Patreon. $1 or more will get your early access as well as bonus content. You can check out the 100th episode, the first part, early. It's up right now on Patreon, so if you go subscribe to us on Patreon, you can check it out there. But if you want to donate in another way, whether it be through mail or through gifts or through, letters or whatever, you can do so, of course, at this address, BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0, and definitely go check out our, and mail us shit, essentially. That'd be awesome. Anyway, so, with that said, we are going to get to questions, because there's probably going to be a lot of them. And I'm seeing a lot for requests for opening night, for things like Child's Play, for things like Toy Story 4. Okay. Toy Story 4, I was kind of on the back of, kind of not turning my back on for a long time, because I thought, there's no point to it. Third one ended so well, why do it? But thankfully, it's getting very positive reviews. And that's surprising. So, I might check it out. I might check it out maybe on a Tuesday or something when I'm not busy. I might even check it out this Tuesday, I don't know. In terms of Child's Play, that's a maybe as well. I might wait for that for home video because the Chucky movies are just okay. I mean, I have fun with them. I love them. Like, Chucky's hilarious. And why they haven't thought about doing a Chucky versus Leprechaun movie, I have no idea. But, yeah, also, another thing. If you guys want to request us to do an opening night, again, go to our Patreon. If you donate a certain amount, you'll be able to request us to do certain opening nights, whether it be a movie you'd like us to talk about, or like a new movie or a retro movie. Go check that out. We're gonna try to do more of those because we want to do more retro reviews and stuff like that. But there's that. Ever seen all that on Nick? I did as a kid. I never really when it came to Nickelodeon, like, I grew up at the very tail end of the golden age of the 90s. In terms of Nickelodeon, because I'd moved to Wisconsin, because here in Canada we have YTV and we have Teletoon. But, when I moved to Wisconsin from 97 to 2002, I did have Nickelodeon, I did watch Rugrats, I did, all that kind of shit. And then, I also, I was mostly a Cartoon Network guy. But when it came to Nickelodeon, I watched all their Nicktoons. So I watched Rugrats, Wild Thornberrys, Hey Arnold, Rocko's Modern Life, all that shit. Never got really into any of the live-action sitcoms that Nickelodeon did. I mean, I kind of watched all that a little bit. Okay, no, that's a lie. The one live-action Nickelodeon show I did watch, and I loved it. Any of y'all remember Cousin Skeeter? If y'all know who Cousin Skeeter is, oh my god, I don't know why. Okay, so I gotta put on my geek glasses. My nostalgia goggles on this one because fucking Cousin Skeeter, man. Holy shit, that was funny. Okay, so when I was a kid, one of my favorite comedy things of all time was puppets. So the Muppets or any kind of like sock puppet shit. I don't know why. I always found the Muppets hilarious. I love the Muppets. So here I'm seeing this show called Cousin Skeeter, and it's what I call a family black show, which is fine. I like those shows, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and so on. But Cousin Skeeter, think All That or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but if Will Smith was a Muppet. This was an actual thing. Okay, this kind of aired, I don't know how many seasons it ran, but it kind of ran from like 98, 99 to 2000. It was really kind of one of those shows to really start the new millennium, which was huge. And then I remember Nickelodeon had what was called the Ozone, which was a block they had back then. But they were promoting the shit out of Cousin Skeeter. And I bought it because I was like, hey, you know, a funny little black Muppet. I can watch that shit. That's hilarious. And I watched it. I watched it a lot. And I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was a very funny show. So, when it comes to live-action Nickelodeon shows, that was really the only one I watched. And how the fuck Cousin Skeeter hasn't made a comeback out of all the nostalgia shit? Like, I'm really a big... When it comes to nostalgia, guys, I'm a fan of the obscure stuff. Like, the really obscure stuff that people are like, I completely forgot that existed. You know, those are kind of my things. Since I thought about talking about more shows like that, where they're the more obscure ones that everybody forgets about. Like, everybody remembers Rugrats. Everybody remembers all of this shit, but nobody remembers certain shows that, you know, did that. So for me, live-action Nickelodeon shows, I was more of an animation guy, but I did watch the occasional one, All That, and, Cousin Skeeter. So those were the shows I watched. Let's see. Hey, Jack, you ever watch Cinemassacres? You know what's bullshit? Abso-goddamn-lutely. Okay, so, full disclosure, this is a question for, this guy. Bottom line, Cinemassacre. I gotta give major shoutouts, obviously, to James and his group, because, they were the pioneers of YouTube for me. Like, they were the pioneers of how YouTube runs. Not only in terms of reviewing certain content, nostalgic content, not only for the nostalgic content in general that they kind of brought back with the Angry Video Game Nerd, but they really pioneered the gaming industry on YouTube and online in general. I really like to think that, because without those early gaming reviews, video games probably wouldn't have gotten into the whole online community as a whole, like in terms of social media and stuff. So major props to him. I've been watching Cinemassacre since 2006, when I actually started high school. And big influence for me here on YouTube, learning that me and James kind of come from the same background of making movies as kids, and just sort of like doing that. And obviously I've met James a few times, and James and I are kind of, I guess you could say, email buddies, because we do occasionally email each other once in a while. He's a really nice guy, honestly, and major props for him and everything. And man, I would love to work with him at some point, because he's taken a real admiration for my work. And I really appreciate everything he's done in helping us on the channel. You know, you've seen it on a couple of cameos, and those are some of the highlights for us. So that's essentially it. That's essentially what I want to do at some point. Cinemassacre is also a channel that not only get me into Angry Video Game Nerd, but movies as well. Yeah, man, he was a big pioneer. Like, he pioneered the YouTube community for me. Hey, Jack, you heard they're making a Halloween 2 next year. Yeah, Carter, and you know what? I'm gonna call it right now. It's gonna suck. And you wanna know why? Because they've done this shit 3 times, and every time they've done it, it failed. Okay? Just to give you an example. Halloween H2O comes out. Big hit, everybody loves it, and it's a reboot. Then they do Halloween Resurrection, they do a sequel. They fuck it up. Okay? So there's that. Then they do Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's a big hit. People like it. Then they do a sequel, they fuck it up. Now we have the 2018 Halloween, which I enjoyed thoroughly. They're making a sequel, they're gonna fuck it up. And to quote Mr. Plinkett, yep, that's like, why fall for it? Because you've been tricked twice. I'm not falling for it. I'm gonna see it either way, just to see if it's either gonna be really bad, or it's gonna be so bad it's hilarious. Because that's usually the kind of rate the sequel Halloween films do. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see what they do. I wonder if, like, Jamie Lee Curtis is gonna get killed off in the first 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm calling it. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And let's see what happens. I'm always giving a fair shot, but fuck, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck, guys. It's gonna stink. Bryce to German, do you like SH Monster Art figures? I've seen them. They look amazing. Like, these are great detailed action figures. But they are way too fucking expensive. You gotta remember, guys, for me, toys lately, like new toys, as for the last 10 years, I have not been able to buy much because they've just gotten overpriced. Like, action figures of that detail are like $50 now. No, I'll pay a fucking video game $50, but an action figure? Fuck no. Even like fucking Star Wars has suffered because of it, because before Disney bought them out, what's interesting, before Disney bought out Star Wars, the action figures were always getting more detailed and more articulation. But now what they do is they take the articulated figures and they make it, they make them more expensive. And I hate that. No, you want the $10 figures that you used to get? Oh, they're going to be like stiff jointed. I don't mind that. Reminds me of the Kenner stuff, but fuck, man, come on. That's not fair. Lego has done the same thing. Like, Lego's just been way too expensive. And not to mention, they've just overdone it with certain, licensed stuff. Like, Batman, I've lost complete interest in. The only Batman, sets, if I'm ever going to buy anymore, are the ones from, like, the original line. From 2006 to 2008, because that was my Lego Batman. But really, if anything, I would maybe get stuff like, the only ones I really collect now are Castles or Pirates, because Castles are cool and Pirates are awesome. The fact that both licenses have been kind of gone for a while is sad, and they need to come back. Castle and Pirates definitely needs to come back. So let's see. Funny thing about Star Wars figures, anyway, I just want to get to the point of toys, like when I buy toys. Normally I get them secondhand. And I don't mind that. I don't care if they're in the box. I really don't care if they're in the box. Like, the box is nice to have, but it's really just a side thing. Me, I only care about the figure. For example, I was shopping around Value Village, which is like a thrift shop kind of thing here in Canada, and some idiot threw out $5 a bag, 2 Megazords from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. One was the Black Edition Megazord, and the other was the Shogun Megazord from Season 3. Now, unfortunately, the only thing is that these Zords, are kind of missing a few pieces, but I am going to try to get them replaced. Where do you get those wonderful toys? Secondhand, man. And you're paying cheaper. Like, seriously, those 2 Megazords, I paid like $5 a piece for them. $5 a piece. That's a bargain. So, for me, it's like, I think the thing is, what I am going to do is take the Black Edition original Megazord and try to pawn it or trade it off for the parts I need for the Shogun Megazord. Because I do like that Shogun Megazord. It looks nice. And it came with a Falcon Zord, which is pretty cool. So hopefully at some point I want to do that. And King Tyrannus, in terms of Kong toys, in terms of review, that is definitely something I do want to do at some point. Because I have been collecting a lot of I do want to show off my merchandise at some point, because I have been buying a ton. I think I might wait till next year, because I do want to wait till I come back from G-Fest in order to show off some of the new stuff. But yeah, when it comes to toys, guys, I just buy everything secondhand at thrift shops or, like, garage sales. Because I don't care about the box, but if I can get them cheap, I'll get them cheap. Same thing with movies. I no longer go to a video store or like a record store or whatever and buy DVDs as they are. I'll buy them used secondhand at pawn shops for $1. DVDs and Blu-rays are like $1 to $5 a piece, and I never go back to those because honestly, like, buying them at $1 to $5 a piece is a bargain. So basically, there's that. Do you own any movie props in your possession? If not, what prop would essential for you to own? That is a great question, Quinn Forever. If anything, I would like to own one thing from probably the 76 King Kong. So maybe like a fur pellet of one of the Kong pieces. Maybe like, any kind of prop from that film I would love to own. Hell, even if it's fucking Jessica Lange's dress from New York. I don't know why. I love that dress. I would just have it on display and I would just love it. That is a beautiful dress. If not, I would probably, I was close. Very close to owning one of Carlo Rambaldi's animatronic hands. Because that thing was in North Carolina. And I contacted the owner, and he offered me half off, believe it or not. But I wanted to go down there and document it. Motherfucking Academy of Motion Pictures beat me to it, and they're putting it in their fucking museum. And it's going with the new restored Jaws, which is amazing. I've seen photos of that, by the way. It looks amazing. But what pisses me off about this, about the Academy with the Carlo Rambaldi hand, they're claiming it to be from the 1976 film. It's from the sequel. And I literally want to go down there and go to it when it opens and just go up to the plaque where it says 1976 Kong hand and be like, that's from the sequel. Because this is in North Carolina. The real Kong hand, if you guys saw on my community page, on my photos, there's a reason why I want to go to Italy. Because the Carlo Rambaldi Museum is opening up soon, and they will have the original animatronic hand in great condition, completely restored, being put on display in Italy. And that's one of the reasons why I want to go. So, and on top of that, guys, that Kong hand from North Carolina will play into Season 5. That's all I'm going to give right now. Anyway, so, that in terms of props is what I would own. I mean, when it comes to props, it's kind of hard for me to choose. Like, I mean, obviously Kong is a big one. I would love to own one of those. At least, I would like to own one of those. Not the original armature by Willis O'Brien, but I would love to own the original the replicas they made of the 18-inch Kong armature. That I would like to own. If it's a Harryhausen film, if I were to go to, like, London and go to that museum they have where they have all those puppets, I would love to own the Allosaurus from 1 million years BC. I love that figure. That is a beautiful sculpt. I would love that. In terms of... That's not really... I think in terms of other props, I could say this. If I were to own one prop weapon, like, people would ask me, what's your favorite film weapon? I would have to say Undriel, the Flame of the West, forged from the shards of Narsil from the Lord of the Rings. This is the second sword Aragorn owns. For me, that beats out fucking Excalibur. That is my favorite fucking sword of any film. That is my favorite prop sword. Whether it be a replica, I would love to own, but man, to have a screen-used Narsil would be great. I would love that thing. That would be amazing. What other props would I like to own? Really, I can't... I mean, I'm more... Honestly, when it comes to props and memorabilia, guys, I'm more of a fan of, whatchamacallit? I'll get to you in a sec, Ike. I'm more of a fan of things like scripts, storyboards, concept art. I've seen a lot of stuff from Comic 76 of scripts and storyboards kind of everywhere. In fact, there's a guy on a monster forum online who owns, believe it or not, the entire storyboard script of The Legend of King Kong, the Universal canceled production. Because if you see in my review of that, I do show storyboards from that. Because there does exist booklets, a complete book of the entire movie in storyboard. And god damn it, there's a part of me who wants to own that and just show that to the entire internet. Because that alone would be worth owning. And this guy has it. And I've asked him if I can get digital scans of it. And he says, because of their value, I'm going to keep it in my archives. And I'm like, fuck! Like, I really want those storyboards. I know, like, what is it, what's her name? Mary Gullerman. Mary Gullerman, who I'm friends with, widow to John Gullerman, who directed 76. She actually owns a lot of John's personal, memorabilia from Kong 76. And there's a part of me who's curious to ask her about, like, maybe seeing some of that stuff, maybe digitized and scanned, and just keeping it for myself as a personal collection. But I don't know. Maybe I'll ask her. I'll see what goes up. But yeah, those are the kind of props I would like to own, and it's mostly just scripts and storyboards and stuff like that. Those are my personal favorites, because I know a guy who has the storyboards from 76. Really, Ike? Send me who he is, and if he has them digitized, I'll take them. By the way, Ike, I do want to mention, I want to give you a big thanks for obtaining me a copy of the Kong musical on Broadway, because I just found out it's going to be closing in August. And I'm like, Fuck, man. Such a good show. So they are, yes, I heard from one of the Kong Facebook groups I'm on, is that they will be closing the show in August, which sucks. But maybe hopefully they'll expand, maybe they'll bring it to Canada, maybe they'll bring it to, like, other countries. I think that should be, it should do kind of a world tour, essentially, and bring it to more areas. But thank you so much, Ike, for getting me a copy. I have that in my hard drives. I love it. So in case I need to go back in terms of my review, I will definitely be using that copy for reference. Let's see. Hey, Jack, do you ship Godzilla X Mothra? Because Mike Doherty does. It's okay. It's okay. I gave birth to wonderful fan art. Is the Kong musical any good? I'm curious to see it. Go see it while you can, Bat Quinn, because it is almost, it's going to close soon. Go see it while you can. It's worth it. Go see it. Let's see. Out of the 4 Titans and King of the Monster, which is your favorite? If it's not Godzilla, it's probably Mothra. Mothra was just fucking gorgeous. What's your favorite pizza? That's a good question. Here in Canada, we have what's called Pizza Pizza. It's a Canadian brand. Normally, when I order, I get New York-style pepperonis. I get mushrooms. Occasionally get green peppers. I like extra cheese. I like the cheese that just fucking drips, like melts. And if not that, I also enjoy stuffed crust pizza. We have Little Caesars. I used to work at one. But yeah, stuffed crust pizza, garlic sauce, the occasional kind of like pizza sauce for the stuffed crust. But there's that. Pizza time. What's my favorite ice cream? I can answer, there's 2. Oreo and chocolate chip cookie dough. And Smarties. Those are my 3 favorite ice cream flavors. Bryce? Chocolate? Did you just say chocolate? Chocolate? Chocolate! 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 Okay, I'll do that. Fuck, I should not be doing that with my cold. Power Rangers RPM. Will I review it? No. I never grew up with RPM. However, I am planning to review the 2017 movie. Hey Jack, which non-Godzilla Toho films would you be interested in seeing? Because I could send them via Google Drive. I've seen most of them. I think which ones I haven't watched. I don't think I've seen Heron. I haven't seen the Mysterians. And I haven't seen... And those are really the only 2 I haven't seen is the Mysterians and Heron. Are the only 2. Let's see. SpongeBob reference, yep. Are you going to do opening night on Crawl? Which one's Crawl again? I can't remember. Do you think Kong will beat Godzilla in 2020? I hope so. I'm on his team. I think most of those movies are on the Internet Archive if you search hard enough. True. True. Thoughts on PBS's The Dinosaur? I didn't watch that documentary. Oh, you know what? I think I might have watched the PBS's The Dinosaurs documentary, because this is going way back. I remember when I was a wee boy. I was really into dinosaurs. And back then, computer-wise, we had things like Windows 95, really old computers. And my dad had uploaded this kind of dinosaur software game thing, and I didn't know how computers work, so I would just watch him, and he would play the clips for me, and I love them. In fact, there's a fucking, I think I want to say it's an old Apple commercial I remember back in the day. I think it was when Macintosh started. I can't remember. But it was this commercial where this dad wants to show his kids dinosaurs on the computer, but it takes fucking forever to load. Remember, this is fucking 90s when internet was not a thing. And they show the Macintosh. I can't remember what computer commercial it was, but that was kind of my experience with the PBS's The Dinosaurs. I just remember they used to be on this fucking CD-ROM thing on Windows 95 back in the day. God, I'm old. Hey Jack, how would you feel instead of King Kong Lives, the sequel to 76 would be King Kong vs. Godzilla? Nah, I know that VHS cover a lot of people like, of King Kong vs. Godzilla, but I think that they would have done their own thing. Oh, Crawl is the Sam Raimi Crocodile movie. Okay, I kind of want to see that, because I love how finally we are getting a killer animal movie that's not a fucking mutated shark fuckboy. finally, can we get, like, somebody else, some other water creature, a little bit of a spotlight? Enough with the sharks. Unless they're making a fifth Jaws, I don't give a shit. Finally. Let's get the fucking crocs in there, for God's sakes. Please. Please fucking get that crocodile in there. I want to go see that. And it's Sam Raimi, so it's like Evil Croc, or Evil Croc Dead. I don't care. I want to fucking see it. I want to go, yeah, I definitely want to go see that. Yeah, they made test footage for The Legend of King Kong, and it was, in fact, destroyed, Gavin. Thank God, let's hope shark exploitation... Yeah, it's got to fucking stop. And there's only, back when forever, there's only one person I seeing stopping shark exploitation. Steven Spielberg. Make a fifth Jaws, and people will stop making fucking shark movies. That is the key, bro. That is the key. Make a fifth Jaws. I don't care if it's stupid. I'll go see it. As long as it's not CGI. Oh, congrats, Matthew, on 100 subscribers. Congrats, and you got your Hail to the King. I've been enjoying it so far, man. Your Hail to the King series, I love it. I've been posting it on the website. Seriously, every year they make more than 100... Yeah, just stop making fucking shark movies. Stop. Stop. Stop making them. I can't take it anymore. Deep Blue Sea was the last good shark movie. There, boom, I broke the fucking internet. Exactly, Justin. No, Carter. Okay, Carter. Asylum might make bad movies, but don't kill them. Just basically make it a fucking court case where they have to have a fucking restraining order against any fucking camera. They can't make movies. That's what I would do. I think that's a bit more tolerable, a bit more sufferable. Yeah, no, I didn't give a shit about Deep Blue Sea 2 because the same fucking movie was shitty, with sci-fi effects. Fuck that. I like the first one. At least the first one actually upped the ante in shark animatronics, and they looked wonderful. They still hold up. After 20 years, those effects still hold up minus the CGI. But the animatronics look fucking fantastic. Ever watch Thug Life? No. What's better, Bangor King Kong, Ape, or any Asylum movie? Okay, full disclosure, Asylum makes the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Bangor King Kong is second place. I'd rather watch that than anything by Asylum. Fuck that company. I'd actually watch Ape more than Asylum. I watched Ape. I'd rather, at least, okay. Bangor King Kong is probably the second worst movie I've ever seen. But it is still tolerable. It is still you can still kind of watch it. It is Bradley's worst movie he's ever seen. But at least with Ape, I know how shitty it is, but there's a certain fun to it. It's kind of got that Mystery Science Theater 3000 vibe, and I kind of actually go back and watch it a few times because it's so poorly made. You can tell the actors don't give a shit, but at least they thought, hey, at least we got a free trip to Korea, and it looks like shit. Yeah, well, at least there's fun to be had with Ape, but yeah. What if Asylum produced Okay, that is the only reason I would watch them, Thomas, is if Asylum did the TV Jar Jar Binks movie. Only way I'll watch them. Because I want to see how the fuck they pull that off. Only way. Oh, Godzilla versus Kong in The Office. That'd be fun. That'd be funny. I'd like to see that. Will I review Night at the Museum? Nah, not at the moment. Will we ever get seasons 1-3 DVD set of the Big Jack Films show? Well, the reason you can't really get DVDs of my show personally is because it is illegal to produce them because of copyrighted content. So, unless I do some underground, under-the-table DVDs or even VHS, would be hilarious. You probably won't see that happening, man. I'm sorry. But we do have plans at some point to put our Kong movie on DVD and Blu-ray at some point. We already have, like, guys, bear in mind, you want a copy of our Kong movie, we have it on VHS. We can ship them out to you. People have been asking for, like, $20 a tape, so that's what we're going with. If you guys want a copy of my Kong movie on DVD, or on VHS, $20 plus shipping, and just, message us and we'll send it to you in the mail. What's my favorite Jurassic Park figure? In terms of toys, really hard to choose. I mean, if it's anything, it's probably the Bull T-Rex from the Lost World. That thing is just massive, and I love it. Fuck, I want that Brachiosaurus, and I fucking hate how it's a Target exclusive, and the scalpers are gonna be all over that shit. God. It's not... Sometimes just, like... It's not fair, man. Jack, ever bought the 50th Memorial Godzilla figure? Guys, I don't buy Godzilla figures. If I'm gonna buy any figures, it's gonna be Kong, basically. Jack, are you gonna do a reaction video to the new Banana Splits movie? I've seen the trailer. I kind of want to watch that. I want to maybe do an opening night on that, because I did kind of grow up with that late at night on Cartoon Network at like 3 a.m. So maybe something I would love to do. Have you ever heard the story of how Lady and the Tramp was animated twice? Really? I never knew that. If you had to fire one highly acclaimed director, who would you fire? Michael Bay. Never make a fucking movie again unless you're making war movies. Unless you're making army movies, don't make any more fucking toy movies. Don't make any more Transformers movies. Just make fucking army movies. I mean, I know Pearl Harbor's a piece of shit because of how they fucked up the history, but at least there's some entertainment value there. Michael Bay, I'll say this. Michael Bay's best movie so far in the last few years was not only the first Transformers and the third one. Those are the only ones I like that he did. But, I think it was called 30 Nights in Benghazi. He's good at that shit. Make those fucking movies. Make just fucking war propaganda movies. I'll go see them. Hell, if he did a remake of Zero Dark 30, I'll go fucking see that shit. Because one of the things I love about Zero Dark 30, because I was actually really wanting to see that, is the whole compound scene. I love how they just said, well, people want to see this. Fuck it, let's go with the Call of Duty crowd, because that's what they want. Because honestly, if they made a Call of Duty game where you enter the compound as the fucking Navy SEALs, I'd play the shit out of that level. I guarantee any American would play the shit out of that game just to get their frustration out. If you made a movie about the life of George Carlin, who would you cast? That's a good question. Wow. Who would I cast? One, it would have to be somebody of the same goddamn personality. That's a given. And that's hard to come by. And also, you gotta get the likeness down. I think, well, one of the things I would do is probably do a Shining Time Station segment. I would definitely get that. Okay, you know what? Yeah, Dennis Leary as George Carlin would be great. Or fucking, I'm trying to think of, who's a good comedian who kind of has the look. Because you gotta remember with George Carlin, actually, fuck, I'm doing the same hairdo that he does now. Holy shit, I've gone full Carlinist. Well, Jack Nicholson's basically gone from Hollywood, Bryce. He actually I think he kind of disappeared because he's like, this whole studio's going to shit, Robert. We gotta get the fuck out of here before it gets worse, before they come and get us. Yeah, because Jack Nicholson, I think he's actually got Alzheimer's, unfortunately, so he kind of retired before shit hit the fan. Rick Moranis would be good. I would do Bill Murray, but he's way too weird. Okay, this is kind of maybe something I would do. I'd cast Johnny Depp. I'd cast Johnny Depp as George Carlin. He's kind of good at playing, historical figures. I mean, I just watched for the first time Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and now it's kind of one of my favorite underground movies of all time. I fucking love that movie. Love the shit out of it. It's hilarious. I want to watch it again. But I'll probably cast Johnny Depp. And I know people are like, oh, but the controversy, well, that's all been turned out to be false anyway, so fuck it. He would be very committed to portraying him actors. Exactly. Will you make feature films one day? David, I have done that with my remake of King Kong. But in terms of making more of them, absolutely at some point I want to make more features. I do kind of have a project that I definitely want to do. It may not be a feature, but it may be more of an online sort of Game of Thrones kind of web series. I just don't know how I'm going to get the funds to do it. I don't know. I don't know where I would get the funds for that, but I would definitely like to do another big project at some point. It's just my show right now is kind of my top priority. It's taken a lot of my focus. But yeah, at some point, I do want to make another feature. I do want to make another sort of film. Start funding a page. I have Patreon, but it's not working. I think basically any funds I make will be from YouTube, if anything. Because YouTube has actually been doing really well for me lately in terms of monetization. And again, because of you guys, thank you so much. Because you gotta remember, guys, YouTube's actually my full-time job now. Because I put out 3 to 5 videos a week, and I get ad revenue at the end of the month. Okay, you know what? Actually, you say you should do a King Kong vs. Godzilla remake. I don't have to. Okay, here are movies I would love to make. Movies I would love, like, or franchises I would love to get my hands on. I would direct Jaws 5. Because I would know what to do with it. I would want to make a Jaws 5. I'd want to make a solo Darth Vader movie. Because I kind of have an idea of what I would do with it. I do have a concept, a story that I would love to tell with Darth Vader. It would kind of maybe take place in between 3 and 4, in that kind of 20-year gap. But yeah, definitely at some point, I would love to do a Darth Vader movie. That would be... Okay, we're back. Don't worry. I'm still alive! So sorry, I guess we had a disconnection there. Anyway, so sorry about that, guys. Good to see you back. Anyway, so... Other films I would like to make. So, Jaws 5 for sure. Love to make a Darth Vader solo movie. I would actually, the one I would definitely do, if I were to remake Kong again, I would definitely do the 1996 film. That's something I would definitely want to do. Godzilla, I would like to do probably an adaptation of 94 with the Stan Winston animatronic, or the Stan Winston design. I love that design. But I would also want to make it more fake, because I think what people want with Godzilla, the reason some critics are not fans, people want a straight-up American adaptation of 1954. The same dread, the same shit, the same darkness. That's what I would do. I would just do a dark, hard R Godzilla movie. That's what I would like to do. What other franchises? Like, okay, there is one set of books. You know how, like, most film directors want to do a book adaptation? There's a series of books. I know Lionsgate has the film rights to it. I don't know what's been happening with it. But I would love to take basically a set, like, because the thing is with these books, they're 4 books that complete a full arc, and they're small children's books. I would love to do an adaptation of the Magic Treehouse book series. I loved those books as a kid. I love them. They're a great series of books. I have the entire original series still in my cupboard somewhere. I have not read many of the Merlin missions, but if you guys have not seen the Magic Treehouse series, it's about 2 kids, Jack and Amy, young kids, whatever, and they live in this home, and they go out into the woods, and they find this treehouse that's just simply been abandoned, this kind of really cool treehouse. And they go in there, it's just covered in books. It's a big fucking library. And whatever books they open up, they are suddenly transported into that world. And the first book dealt with dinosaurs, so you're already starting good with dinosaurs. Second book dealt with knights and castles. Third book dealt with mummies in ancient Egypt. And the 4th book dealt with pirates. And all that kind of collaborated into a full story arc, where it turns out the person running the treehouse is Morgan Le Fay of King Arthur mythology. So you got King Arthur in there, which is even better. And basically, it's an arc of stories. It's a whole story arc told in 4 books. And I would love to do 4 books and make that one movie. And then maybe do, like, a bunch of movies, like, sequels afterwards. So about, like, I would say, if anything, I would film maybe about 3 movies all at once, and then release them once a year, and then work on the next set. And so basically, the first 3 would be the introduction to Morgan Le Fay, the mouse arc, as I call it, the Moonstone mouse arc, and then the 3rd arc, which I can't remember what it was. I think it was something to do with, like, some sort of, like, quest thing they had to do to find these artifacts, and they went to, like, a ghost town and shit. I can't remember that far back. I'd have to read the books again, but those are definitely a set of stories I would love to tell. Would have to get them into public domain. No, I would just actually probably get permission from the author. I would say to Osborne, I would say, I'm a big fan of these books. I loved them since I was a kid. I would love to make a film out of them, but I would love to do, like, at least 3 movies worth. And she'd probably sign on and be like, okay. Opening night to Aladdin. Maybe. I think I actually want to go see it. I am kind of curious to see what they do with it. But really, honestly, those are the films I would love to make at some point. JT has a question, and this is hilarious. Ever considered reviewing any more? Would you consider reviewing hentai in the near future? Fuck. Why, Sean? Why do you make me answer these questions? I don't know if the community guidelines would be okay with that, and I think only my adult fans would be able to watch it. There are maybe one or two I would maybe consider at some point, but I'm not gonna say what they are. Because maybe someday. Someday. Maybe that could be a collab we do, man, because that's kind of stretching it, buddy. I would do anime, but, man... yeah, just, no, I don't know. Maybe someday. Maybe another Valentine's Day special. Oh my god, that'd be it. Every fucking February, we do Valentine's Day special of hentai. The ultimate love story between women and octopus monster. The ultimate love story. It's a better love story than Twilight. And yes, I know Robert Pattinson's Batman. I'm going to give him a chance. But anyway, so we are down to the 5-minute mark. We are going to answer 3 more questions, and we are going to call it a night. Every November have a hentai review. Why November? Oh, because not November. No, I'd rather it be Valentine's Day. Honestly, any kind of intimate, sensual sort of content, if I ever review it, will probably be a Valentine's Day special, because I figured that's the best place to put it. Alright, 3 more questions. When can we expect your locations video? For New York, it's going to be coming down the road. It's definitely going to be coming down the road. I have it in the can. It's all filmed. I just got to find the time to edit it. Might be at the end of the year. Ike Studios. What is the worst monster movie ever made? Think about that. Only a few. Reptilian. Reptilian's just because of the shit CGI. It's all about the effects for me. Okay, one that actually I think is like, okay, when you look at what went on behind the scenes on it, it's fucking terrible of how this movie was made. But given the effort put in, you can kind of admire it for it. And that's Paul Gassari. And Paul Gassari, I may take... I don't know if I want... Maybe. No promises. But Paul Gassari... Paul Gassari, basic story, guys. Once upon a time, the dictator of North Korea kidnapped a guy to make him a communist Godzilla movie. That's the whole story of the making of the film. There's a part of me who wants to review it, but I do kind of, like, yes, behind the scenes... horror show of how it was made. But you can kind of admire the effort put in, because the director did a good job, the actors are great, they even got Toho to make the effects. So that would be essentially what I would like to do. Okay, final question. And this one I want to answer because it's kind of down, it's a bit higher up. And this is from Ishira McKinney 3. Am I married? Do I look like I have a ring on me? Do I look like I have the process? Do I look like I have the process, my love? No. You don't have any wives. Nobody likes you. That's my Gollum. I've been on a rings kick lately. But... no. I'm honestly, like, in terms of relationships right now, not really into it. Work's more important. If I'm gonna be, it's rather be with friends and shit than anything at the moment. I'm not thinking about, marriage or anything like that, although, I don't know. I'd never thought of it, but, someday, I'd like to see something happen, but not focused on the moment. What I am focused on is my 100th episode, and getting that all to you guys, because that is more important, because this is my job. So... again, guys, thank you so much for being there for me for the last 2 times. Also, I forgot to mention, we hit 4,700 subscribers. We're getting so close to 5,000. Can we get to 5,000 by the end of the month, please? I'd really appreciate it. But again, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. Again, if you guys would like to support the channel, and if you would like to see the 100th episode early, link down below to our Patreon. $1 more will get you early access, as well as other bonus content. Definitely go support us there. If you want to send us letters, if you want to send us gifts, if you want to send us donations, do so at this address, BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0. We'd love to hear from you guys, and it'd be great to see you guys at some point. Just send us shit. Anyway, so, yes, of course, don't forget, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock will be the airing of part 1 of the 100th episode. We can't wait to show you what we got in store, guys. And to tell you how long part 1 is, to give you an example of how long this fucking review is, part 1 is 35 minutes. God help us all. Or Shenron help us all. Or fucking Beerus help us all. The God of Destruction help us all. Because this is going to be a long one, folks. So again, guys, thank you all so much. Again, big shout out to all of the people who've been helping out on this episode. Big shout out to RAISORBLADE for his review. Go check that out. So until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off. I still have a cold. I gotta get better. And if you ever need to cure a cold, there's 3 things that'll help you. Lemon tea, hot chicken wings, and ginger ale. Take care, guys.